Hey neighbor, it's fall for us. Cool weather has moved in and it's been 48 degrees this
I
morning.
know, you all dressed like
I'm gonna freeze to death.
And then-
49 yesterday.
but then it gets up to 80.
Yeah, I shed this pretty quick. Today we're talking about fall gardening, specifically carrots. Welcome to the Row by Row Gardening Show, the best dadgum gardening show on the internet, where we talk about gardening, a little bit of cooking, and growing your own food. Now sit back and enjoy. But you know, fall gardening is one of the greatest wonders of life with gardening. Was it yesterday or the day before, you picked green beans?
Hoss Blaze green beans, and we'll throw up a picture of it, a big tub. And how long is that row?
30 feet.
Is it that long?
I think so.
But one row is just an enormous amount. We shared with everybody here at work.
You know, the Hoss Green Blaze bean is known for its heat tolerance, but it also performs extremely well in the fall of the year. In this cooler weather, it performs just wonderful. Also, we got a row of Navajo beans. Now, the Navajos are not producing quite as early as the Green Blaze is, but the taste on those flat Navajo
Yeah,
beans,
they're good.
man. I put some in tacos the other night. Stir-fried them and put them in tacos.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's just a wonderful time of the year. The cool weather's got everybody I love working in the garden this time of year. I'm going to be honest with you. In August, I get burnt out with the heat. But this time of the year, you just want to stay out there. The problem is we don't have as much daylight in the afternoon.
I know. I cooked dinner last night, was going to go out there and do some things, and it was dark at like 7:10.
Yeah, our days are getting shorter, so therefore we don't have the amount of days, but the weather's wonderful for getting out there.
Just start earlier.
And you love hand watering your garden.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
And that's some therapy for you, just stand out for hours and hand water.
It's therapy, and you get to look at everything and think about what you had there last time, what you're going to plant there. It's just like you talk to your flowers. Look at these flowers.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of flowers, folks, we're going to do the show today on carrots, but we're going to have a little short segment here on flowers. We're doing a lot of work on flowers. And what is this right here?
It's an aster. It's a Zumi XL.
So Evan, that started with us about a year ago, a younger guy, is really fascinated with flowers. And he's doing a lot of work with that. We're going to be adding probably 30 or 40 or maybe even 50 varieties for 2026 of some awesome cut flowers.
And look at these. So before they're fully mature, they have this yellow center.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they mature, it turns more of a pinkish, I'm gonna mess up my arrangement here. Like solid pink, fuchsia. Isn't that just pretty?
And the foliage is absolutely gorgeous on it as well.
Yeah.
You strip the foliage off.
I stripped the foliage off, but if you pinch these off like you do zinnias, you'll have a longer stem. I think we make excellent cut flowers.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the varieties we're going to be adding for 2026. We've had a couple of meetings so far. This filler here is lemon drop toothache plant.
Yeah.
But we're excited. We're going to have a huge offer next year of some high genetics, not the cheap stuff, but we're adding these really nice flowers that's going to be wonderful additions to any cut flower garden, or any just regular garden. But we've been working on it for 3 or 4 months now, trying to come up with a selection of what we're going to use. And we're working with the breeders on stuff. It's just going to be amazing what's coming for 2026 on the flowers.
Yeah, and speaking of herbs, this is the time of year you need to be harvesting your herbs before the first freeze. So my freeze dryer has been going
Every night.
non-stop. I just took some roselle out this morning. Been doing a lot of roselle.
Roselle is coming in like crazy. It's just a wonderful time of the year. All right, so let's get into what you need to be doing now. We've been talking about this for the last 3 or 4 weeks. You need to be planting stuff like crazy in October. The only thing you don't need to plant in October for the most part is onions. We do that in November. But for us Southerners, now is the time to plant your carrots. I got a confession to make about carrots.
What?
The first few times I've tried to grow carrots, and this has been years ago, I failed. It took me a long time to get the carrot thing under control and learn how to grow carrots.
I helped you with that, didn't I?
You did, and somebody else did too. But yeah, it took me a while to learn how to grow carrots. I don't know why I was so hard-headed on that, but
Yeah.
I was hard-headed on carrots. I thought you had to grow them like you did everything else. In my mind, I was going to grow them like I did my beets and my radishes and things like that.
Just put them out there. Let them.
But you don't.
They have to be babied the first week.
Now, growing carrots is extremely rewarding because the way we grow them here in the South is we plant them in the fall, we grow them all winter long, and they get that cold touch to them, that cold kiss, and the flavor to them is just astronomical in the springtime, early spring when we harvest them. They're easy to grow once you get them up and get them going. And
Those you planted a week ago.
yep. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you my experience. So I always thought you put them in the dirt, you water them just like you do radishes or whatever. Now, the problem with that is carrots are really hard to germinate. Carrots are one of those things we don't grow in the greenhouse and transplant out. You always direct seed carrots. What I found out was adding a lot of organic matter, compost to the soil. Any soil with high organic matter seems to do better, and softer type soils seem to do better than soils that don't have organic matter in them and are harder type soils. Now you can grow carrots with you guys that's got some of those harder soils. They don't do quite as well, in my opinion, as soft soils. My first successful year was growing them in the ground with I loaded my soil up with compost. That was my first, and I put drip tubing on there as well. That was my first successful time doing it. After that, we've kind of moved into growing them in raised beds because I think raised beds are a better option for growing carrots because you can manipulate your soil and they're a little bit different. The only problem is keeping them wet because we know raised beds dry out a little bit more than in-ground does.
Last year, we didn't plant as many carrots, and I planted them in a big grow bag, and that was fun. I didn't do the seed tape, so I had to thin them out. So I waited till they got about a couple of inches long, and we ate them continuously. Now the drawback of that is I didn't have any to ferment.
Yeah.
And we love ferment.
We love fermented carrots. We love them roasted. We love them just about any way. The taste of a fresh carrot that you grow in your garden compared to what you buy in the thrift stores is completely different. So on the germination part, I'm not one on much on garden hacks, but I think this is something you guys probably could do and it might help you. When we plant our carrots, we want to plant them shallow. We want to space out our seeds as evenly as we can, but you want to plant them a little thick. So if you're not using the seed tape, which I think is a great option, and you're going to direct seed them, you want to plant them a little thicker than you normally would think you would need them, and you want to go back and you could thin them out later. But you've seen those videos, people laying cardboard or boards down. I think that's a good hack for carrots because it holds that moisture there. The key to it is you can't leave it there too long.
You got to remember to
take it off. I think leaving.
Have you ever tried that?
I have. I've tried the board before. I think about 4 or 5 days is perfect. Now you got to keep it wet underneath that, but what that does, of course, it blacks it out, which is fine for seed germination, but it keeps that moisture underneath there. So if you keep your soil nice and moist and keep something on top of cardboard, board, whatever you got, I think about 4 or 5 days is going to be the limits on that. Take it off, and then the carrots will pop through. If you leave it on there too long, you're going to smother your plants out. You don't want to do that. So after you get them up, as you said, you want to thin them out. That process can be a little tedious. That's the reason we love the seed tape, because you don't have to do that. Plus the seed tape's got a little fertility or fertilizer already in there. So that is a good strategy. You got to keep them wet, regardless whether you use cardboard or board or whatever. Those that you're talking about, mine that's coming up in raised bed, I've ordered them at least twice a day.
And that's the Corota.
That is the Corota.
So that
was the seed tape.
That's the new seed tape for this year. And we have the rainbow blend seed tape.
We do. Yep. So do that. I noticed I planted spinach and beets all at the same time in different raised beds, and I watered them all the same. My spinach and my beets came up way before my carrots did.
Do you think it's because it was so warm that week?
No, I think just nature of carrots. They're going to take a little bit longer, and you just got to baby them a little bit longer to get them
Because
up.
they grow best in cooler weather.
They love cooler weather. They don't like hot weather. Believe it or not, carrots are classified as biennials. If you're going to save your seed, and I've never heard anybody talking about saving their seeds from carrots, you got to let them grow 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
To save your seeds. So seed crops on carrots is a 2-year deal. Us gardeners, we're going to harvest them way before they bolt and go to seeds.
Yeah.
We're going to grow them as annuals. Plant them now, perfect for us southerners, and we're going to harvest them late February, 1st of March, somewhere there.
Yeah.
And you can harvest them, start eating them before then like we did.
Yeah. One thing you did, I noticed you were doing was a couple of days before you planted them, you kept fluffing up the soil.
I added organic matter. I also added some complete organic in there about a week before I planted. So that keeps those microbes get started feeding off that complete organic fertilizer and get your soil nice and healthy. So when those carrots do sprout, they got energy and food there so they can pop and go. Now, as far as fertility goes, carrots is a root crop. So anytime we're dealing with a root crop, we want to make sure we got adequate phosphorus and potassium, because those two things are the most important on root crops or crops that grow into the ground. If you don't have adequate amounts of phosphorus and potassium in your soil, you may want to supplement it and get your nutrient load up a little bit.
So do you a soil test?
You could do a soil test, but if you don't have
begin
time
with?
to do your soil test and you think you're okay, and that's what most of us do, pre-plant using complete organic or some kind of animal manure or any kind of organic fertilizer is a good way to get started. Now, I'm not a fan of bone meal, feather meal, and any kind of those for vegetable garden. But any kind of manures work fine. Chicken litter or anything like that, our complete organic works wonderful. A week or two before you plant, get that mixed up into your soil so it starts degrading. And then after you plant, I think it's best to use a balanced fertilizer like the Hoss All-in-One 10-10-10. Has all the micronutrients in there, but it is a balanced fertilizer. The reason is we don't want to hit these carrots with too much nitrogen. If we hit them with too much nitrogen in the growing process, we're going to get forked carrots. We're going to get hairy carrots. You know what hairy carrots are?
Yeah, I don't like the...
Too much nitrogen causes hairy carrots, and we don't like hairy carrots. So if you want to grow a good clean, you can't hit it with too much nitrogen. Normally we'll hit a lot of our crops with calcium nitrate, ammonia sulfate. I don't think that's a good idea with carrots. I think it's best to stay with a well-balanced fertilizer such as 20-20-20 or 10-10-10 for the life of the carrot. Now if you're using the 20-20-20, you're going to need to use micro boost for those minor elements in there. If you're using the all-in-one 10-10-10, it's already got it in there. So I think that's a really good choice to hit them a couple or 3 times with that after you get that base layer of complete organic going.
You can talk about the different types of carrots?
Yeah, but this is a good one right here. We got this little sheet right here.
So, what's the first one?
Imperial.
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 I don't have that one on here.
Yeah,
It's a longer...
It is a longer one. It's not one of those. We have a couple of those varieties that has those skinny ones. We have an orange one. I just looked at it earlier and I can't tell you.
Viper?
But yeah, I have planted it before. It does okay. You need really sandy soils for it. So the Imperial, how do you say that? Imperial is a good variety to plant. I would not plant this unless I did have good organic soils, because you need... Carrots are distinguished by the size of the carrot, by the type of soils you have. Now, the most popular one and the one I like to grow probably the best is the Nantes type. You can see here it has the blunt end on the end. It is a long, decent sized carrot. That probably is my favorite.
Yeah, it's has a greater storage life too, and it fits in your jars because it's not quite so long.
Yeah, it's more consistent in size. I love that one. Danvers is a very Poplar variety has more of that pointy tip on the end of it there.
That's the Bugs Bunny type.
That's the Bugs Bunny. And we got Chantilly
Chantay.
Chantenay type.
Chantenay.
We used to have a variety called Oxbox. I believe that was an old heirloom variety. It didn't sell very well.
Yeah.
I grew them. I love them.
Yeah, they're short and fat. I mean,
Yeah.
they get really,
They
really
just didn't
fat.
sell very well, but I love them.
But it's great for clay soils because it doesn't have to penetrate.
Right. So those are the types there that you want to plant according to your soils type that you have there. And we have those skinny ones if you want to try some of those. And carrots come in all different colors as well.
Do you know ancient carrots were only purple, yellow, and red or white?
I did not know that.
It wasn't until around 1600s that they were bred to be orange.
And the majority of our carrots today are orange carrots.
Yeah, in the Netherlands as a tribute to the royal house of Orange.
They are different color ones. We have one called Purple Elite that people love to grow, love to juice. Now, I've never been into juicing a whole lot, but these things sell like crazy. We sell a lot of Purple Elite.
Those are hairy.
They're a little bit hairy, but they are great for juicing. People
Yeah.
love them for that. And they're a skinnier type carrot. And then we got the Rainbow Blend, which I grew last year that I love the Rainbow Blend. It has the yellows, the purples, and the orange already in them. It's in the seed tape and it does extremely well. So I plant the seed tape because it's just easy. Now, on our regular carrot seed, you're going to see that we carry pretty much all raw carrot seed. That's going to be changing within the next year. We're transitioning out of raw carrot seed and we're only going to carry pelleted seed.
That'd be easier to plant.
It'll be a lot easier to plant. And I think it's going to be better for the consumer. It costs a little bit more, but not that much compared to how convenient it is to plant pelleted seed. They're so much bigger, you can space them out better. So, carrots.
Another tidbit.
Yep.
Another tidbit. You know, you see people on TikTok, Instagram, replanting the tops of the carrots. And they illude you to believe you're going to grow another carrot, but you're not. You're just going to grow the top.
Yeah.
And if exposed to light, you want to keep them covered at the top.
Yeah, the top will get green a little bit and mess up, so you keep them covered up.
They high in vitamin A, and they actually help your night vision.
Beta carotene. Yep.
Ooh.
Very, very,
You
very
read the
healthy
notes,
for you, but
didn't
they're
you?
good. So our favorite way of cooking them is we love to ferment them.
Yeah.
I have become a big fan of fermented foods in the last 2 or 3 years. They're not only good to you, but they're good for you. We like to roast them. Olive oil, sea salt in the oven with like a medley of whatever we got coming in that time of the year. It just finishes out any kind of dish there.
Yeah. I also like to cook them in chicken broth
Oh yeah. It's
and,
like
and
candy.
a little bit of honey. Yeah. Kind of candy. Caramelize them, I think is what you call them.
And you know, carrots will store somewhat. I mean, we never store them because we eat them fast as we dig them, but they will store somewhat.
Yeah. You don't want to wash them
Yeah.
before you store them, but store them in like your vegetable tray in the fridge.
Or if you happen to have a
Yeah.
root cellar.
Yeah. Always like wrap mine up in a paper towel and put them in a Ziploc bag, and they'll store for a long time.
As far as pest problems, we have never. Now I know if you go online and look, they'll list out some disease and insect problems. I have never sprayed carrots. Never. So for a gardener in the South, growing them in the wintertime, we never had any pest problems whatsoever. None that I know of.
We don't have many questions about people with pest
No,
problems.
so it's a very, think about a crop you can grow that you never had to spray with anything, very healthy for you.
Companion planting with carrots.
Oh boy, that's a good one because you know how I am about companion planting. Onions are wonderful.
Dill is wonderful.
Yep. So if you want to plant onions, companion plant them with your carrots, that would be a wonderful
Yeah.
strategy right
Even lettuce.
there. Yep, lettuce.
Because
does
the
well.
lettuce grows on top and the carrots grow on the bottom. So
Yep.
you're kind of utilizing, keep that weed pressure down.
One thing I didn't realize is that carrot tops are edible. We never
What would you make with them?
I don't
Some
know.
pesto?
Yeah, we've never eat carrot tops.
I might have to try that.
Yeah. All right, folks, try you some carrots. Don't be intimidated. You may fail. But if you'll try the strategy of keeping them wet, and first of all, if you're a first time carrot grower, I would say this right here, container or raised bed.
Yeah.
And then if you're, if you got it under control, you can move on to grow them on the flat. But I would definitely grow in a raised bed or a root pouch if I was starting out.
A root pouch, I think, would be.
Yeah, raised
For
bed.
those that don't have raised beds,
Yep,
definitely a root pouch.
yep. All right.
I got 2 carrot jokes.
Okay,
You ready?
I'm ready.
How do you make gold soup?
I don't know. Gold soup.
Gold soup? Put 24 carrots in it. One more.
That was pretty good.
What would a snowman say if he could talk?
It's cold.
I smell carrots.
Because you got carrot. I like the first one better.
Yeah.
Those are both good.
I think
My grandkids would love those. They
Yeah.
love corny jokes.
Yeah.
So you save those for
Dad
your
jokes.
dad jokes for your grandkids there, or tell it at church Sunday morning. All right, garden spotlight of the week. Look here.
Is Stormy Lee.
Looks like Maggie Jane there.
Yeah, they could be friends. Keeling, Texas on 8B. We dug half our sweet potatoes in our raised beds, and everyone seemed to approve, even the animals.
Oh yeah, look at there. Now how much
I
happier?
wonder what that dog's name is.
I don't know, but how much happier can you get in your garden with your dog and harvesting potatoes? I just harvested mine about a week ago. Look here, they even got cats. Now this is something we don't have around our house is cats.
We do have some. The neighbors have some.
Well, they're stray cats. We don't have cats.
No.
We have stragglers come through. Maggie's not a big fan of cats. Look at they've got little bitty dogs. And they got sweet potatoes galore. Yep, that looks like Georgia Jet sweet potatoes to me.
Not Beauregards?
Maybe. All right. Well, thank you for that. Texas did good on sweet potatoes this year.
We did good on sweet. We didn't talk
really.
about ours.
I know, we did. We made one heck of a crop.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes, good one too.
I had some in the raised beds, and you had some.
Yep.
It was
All right, so the garden, I say garden spotlight. The old goat. So
no, not the old goat.
Not the old, I keep saying the old goat.
The Hoss bobblehead.
Hoss bobblehead is on the site here somewhere. If you find it, put it in the comments below. And next week we'll do the drawing for this week. This is for the people that put their comments last week. And Joshua Myzell is the winner.
Myzell.
Myzell.
Yeah. Send us your shipping address to support@growhouse.com.
And Joshua, you will be the winner and the great recipient of these Get Dirty socks. Look at there. Boom, boom. I didn't wear mine today, but I'll probably wear mine tomorrow. I wear mine about once a week. And I
You
flash
got
them
2
around.
pair.
I got 2 pairs.
Yeah. I see them in the wash quite often.
All right,
What we
folks.
got coming up?
Oh, we got onions coming up. And we got onions that
Pre-sale onions.
We're pre-selling onions, but we'll start on onions about the middle of November. We're going to be a little bit earlier than we were last year.
We say that every year.
No, we're there this year. We planted earlier. We planted a couple weeks earlier this year. So we're in good shape. Onion plants are looking extremely well. So we're going to be digging short day onions around the 10th to the 15th somewhere. And then we'll be getting them out to you guys, which will be perfect timing there. Everybody loves to jump the gun on onions. Plant your onions the middle of November all the way into December, even January, and you're okay. So we'll get them out to you there. We will be at Georgia Bushcraft in Watkinsville, Georgia.
It's not long.
That's about a week or 2 away. So check that out. Go Google Georgia Bushcraft in Watkinsville, Georgia. It's a wonderful event. Our first time ever being there. Yeah. We're excited about it. It's an outdoor type thing, and we're going to be the only gardening people there. But it's all about gardening. It's about being outdoors. So we're excited that they invited us to be a part of it. We will have the buggy there showing the great Polaris giveaway. So you can check out the buggy, you can put your hand on it. Of course, we'll be there and we'll have a little bit of stuff for sale. Not much, but a little bit. But we'll be there and you come by, talk to us and meet us, and we'd love to see some of you guys there. So if you're around Watkinsville, Georgia, anywhere around, plan on this event. It's a great way to spend your Saturday.
Strawberries out of stock.
Strawberries are pretty much gone. We may just have a handful left, but they're pretty much gone. We sold like hotcakes. We sold a lot of strawberries, and they really turned out well. We got a little bit of garlic left, so get your garlic if you haven't, a little bit of elephant garlic and some varieties of the hard neck and soft neck. Go ahead and wrap that up and get your garlic in the ground. It's time to plant it. Be done with that. And your elephant garlic will come off about 2 weeks after your onions do in the springtime, or they normally do for me. So it makes a great combination there. You got elephant garlic or your regular garlic and your onions coming off. All right, folks, thank you for joining us. Carrot is the reason for the season, all right? Plant your carrots. If you hadn't ordered them, get them, plant them, and I promise you'll thank us later. Now it's time for you to get outside, get those hands dirty.